Hey friends, happy Tuesday night. I'm here. I'm here. I feel as bad as I look. Yeah, my hair's a mess because I had to go out. I had to go out in between raindrops, rainstorms, whatever you want to call it, downpours. And I had to go to Walmart and get cold medicine. I need sinus medicine, but I wasn't about to stand in line for the pharmacy when there was like 10 people in line probably doing the same thing. Because that's the only way Walmart gives you sinus medicine, is if you go to the pharmacy for the OTCs. Thankfully, my husband will be here tomorrow night, so he can bring me all my stuff I have in California, but I got something to keep me, to hold me over until then. I'm not real happy. I'm not real happy. I don't know how many times I had to say in the last week, cover your cough, you're going to get us sick. Here we are. Levi's just getting over it, and I'm just getting it. And usually when I get sick because I never get sick. So here we go. Anyways, I'm going to answer a couple of y'all's questions. I'm not going to get into the real difficult ones tonight because all I want to do is go to bed, and I can't. I've got to wait until 10 o'clock, 10:30 my time, because my husband's going to call me after he gets out of class, and we're going to go over the stuff I need him to bring out here, like absolute must bring now. I can't wait until I go in December. So yeah, that's gonna be fun because like I said, I just want to sleep. But all right, so moving on, I have 16 different questions, topics, whatever to discuss. And I'm going to honestly start with the easiest one, because that's just how I'm rolling tonight. Do we typically get snow? That was a question that I had. Yes, we get all 4 seasons here. Now, this is going to be my first, this is like my first end of fall going into winter season. So I'm seeing, like, I think right now it's a more rainy time of the year than it typically is here in November. We have had quite a bit of rain. We were out here visiting in March, and we had all 4 seasons within 2 days. We had snow, sleet, rain, thunder, lightning, rainbows, hot temps, cold temps, medium temps. That was all in the course of a couple of days. However, where we do live, we have to be careful of black ice as it gets colder. When I went out to Walmart earlier, it was 54 degrees, but the real feel was like in the low 40s, and you could feel it. It was cold. I didn't even want to be out, being sick and everything, but I mean, it's me running this ship, right? So I have to, I'm the only one that can go out right now. But anyways, back to the weather thing. Yeah, so we do get 4 seasons. I know you guys have seen our ash tree in the back is changing colors. It's like a golden yellow right now. It's beautiful. But the trees around here do change. It was kind of funny because when I was coming back from Walmart earlier, driving up to our house, because yes, we have to drive up. And just the clouds over the mountains reminded me of like snow clouds. It really, really did. However, it did not snow. It rained buckets, literally. We're still under a flood watch till 5 a.m. So, yes, simple question. We do get snow. We get it all. We get everything. I think summers are driest months just because it doesn't really rain. It doesn't do much in the summer. I don't think. I've never spent an entire summer here, so I can't say for sure. So there's that. I'm a happy Michigan girl getting her 4 seasons back. So, let's see. What is this one? Am I able to watch YouTube, movies, or listen to an audiobook while I crochet a difficult pattern? Well, I'm going to break the news to you all. I try not to do difficult patterns. I'm not all about crochet acrobatics. I prefer simple or repetitive patterns just because, as you know, I love doing the granny stitch, granny squares, granny rectangles. I love doing that stitch because it's mindless. I love doing corner to corner. Now, I get it. Corner to corner is not for everybody because it is, once you're starting out, it's hard to grasp, but that's another one that I really like to do. However, that one I do need to kind of pay attention just because, yeah, you don't want to go in the wrong stitches and stuff, right? You don't want to screw it up. But yeah, typically I can watch YouTube or listen to an audiobook or music. I don't generally watch TV or movies. YouTube is my entertainment. It's my TV. It's, I do listen to audiobooks and music though when I crochet. So, yeah, I try not to do very difficult patterns just because it's hard for my brain to wrap around, like all the different steps and stuff like that. Like I have this pattern, oh, it's over there, for this really beautiful poncho that a friend of mine sent me. And, I couldn't wrap my brain around how to do it. And maybe it's because I've never done a poncho before. And it's worked from the top down. So, I don't know. I haven't really done super difficult patterns. I've only been crocheting for, well, coming up on 3 years in like January or February. So, but there's room to grow, right? And I do plan on expanding out as life kind of starts to settle down, and I want to start making garments like sweaters and ponchos. So, and I will have my audiobooks playing when I'm doing them because it just helps break up the silence of this house. So, anyways, let's see. Have I ever entered any of my makes in a fair or a judging setting? No. And the reason being, no, I would love to do that. I would love to enter, my rectangle shawls or something like that. Not rectangle, triangle shawls. Excuse me. I don't even know my shapes tonight. I would love to enter my shawls and maybe even blankets into a fair or some kind of, judging contest. However, where I moved from, the county fair was an absolute joke. It was very competitive and the payout was not great. And I mean, it's not all about the payout, right? But the competition was ridiculous. And I wasn't about to just put myself in that situation. There was a lot of crooked stuff that went on with that county fair for a while. And yeah, it's just not something I wanted to put myself into for that county. I will be looking for, when the Mojave County Fair comes up, because that's a little bit smaller of a such setting. And obviously I'm in a different state. I'm in a different county. And I feel like it could be a better setting and a better situation. So I will explore that. I will explore entering something into the next county fair, which is, I think it's September now. We just barely missed it last time we were out here when we were looking at the house. So They put it at the end of the summer because it gets about 115 here in the summertime. Yeah, 110 to 115 depending. So anyways, okay, so yeah, there's that. I'll do that one another time. Go to hook size and brand. I prefer a 5 or a 5.5 millimeter crochet hook. However, I'm exploring smaller crochet hooks now, like 2.5 and 3 and all the way up to, 4.5, whatever. I prefer dots hooks and clover hooks. Those are my two preferred. I do like Susan Bates hooks to a point, but I prefer my dots or my clover hooks. So there's that. That is not one I'll answer that one later. Have I designed my own pattern or patterns? No. And I will go further on that. I don't think I would ever want to design my own pattern just because, number one, there's so many patterns out there, right? So many wonderful patterns out there, tutorials to go with the patterns. I just don't have the brain power for it. I don't. I did a washcloth earlier this year. It was kind of like a stitch sampler washcloth that I just kind of threw together myself. And I thought, oh, maybe I can make a pattern out of this. And then I sat down to look at the pattern or to even think about writing a pattern for it. I didn't get anywhere. So no, I've never designed a pattern and I don't have any desire to do so. So there's that. Let's get one more and then let's do this one. This sounds like a fun one. Do I think there are people that keep tabs on how much money they spend on yarn each year? Absolutely. I'm almost certain there are people out there that do that because, if they do crochet for a business and then, when it comes tax time, they need to know what they spent, right, on yarn. I think that's what it really would boil down to is, those fiber artists that do crochet for a business, for a living, actually have like online stores. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do keep track of how much money they do spend in a year. Just because, when it comes to tax time, you really gotta have all your nickels and dimes in a row, right? So yeah, I do think, I honestly do think that there are people out there that do keep the tabs. So, is there anything else I can answer tonight? All right, I'll answer one more and then I'm going to end this video because we're at 13 minutes, okay? Favorite type of yarn, and if so, what kind? All right, so I prefer a medium 4-weight yarn. I'm not particular, it can be wool, it can be cotton, it can be acrylic. I will not use chenille and I will not use blanket. I cannot do either of those. I'm simple. I just, big twist, loops and threads, Red Heart, Caron, just any of those basic brands. I don't really go for all the, I'll use my son's term, bougie yarns. When the opportunity arises, yeah, I will spoil myself, and that's a question actually coming up, and I'll talk about that more in depth tomorrow because I have said yarns over here to my left. So anyways, I'm gonna go. I'm starting to lose my voice. I hope that was informative for you, helpful. But I'll come back tomorrow and I will jump right into the questions and we'll try and get the rest of these answered. No guarantees. If not, then we'll finish answering them on Thursday, okay? But But for now, I'm going to go. I am going to go hide out in my room, and I'm going to organize my books because they're all over my bedroom floor. And with my husband coming in tomorrow night, I don't need him tripping over a whole stack or 2 or 10 of books. So anyhow, friends, love, hugs, and prayers to you all. Stay safe, and I'll see you all in the next video.